Quick little pop to just pull it off the water.
Yeah, you're trying to, we got a little rough water. You want to get off before it gets too rough out here.
Yeah.
So there's a whole other side of the EAA that a lot of people don't see, and that is this EAA seaplane base. It's a lot more low-key, it's a lot more chill, and today we're gonna get to go out and take out a Cessna 206 on floats, but it's not just any Cessna 206. Let's go.
You work for Samaritan. Did you start the company?
Yeah.
Okay, and when you started it back in what year?
2000.
So you've been doing it for 22 years.
Yep.
That's amazing. And so, you do a lot of work for Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, so Samaritan Aviation, it started on a trip. I was over there in 1994 as a 19-year-old. We saw a need over there. It's one of the most remote places in the world. A lot of people don't even know where it is, but it's north of Australia. It's the second largest island in the world. There's 850 languages. Almost a fifth of the world's languages are on this little island. 8 million people, and had an opportunity to go over there with a friend in 1994 and saw the need, and I'd already had a passion for aviation. My grandfather was a World War II pilot, my uncles flew airplanes, my cousin was a fighter pilot in the military, and my dad was a minister. And so growing up as a Christian, and then as a high schooler, my dad started running this homeless mission in Santa Cruz, California. This idea of helping people, through acts of service, and so giving people food and clothes. And as a 16-year-old, I came back to California and like, okay, now what? So I ended up going to college in Florida, met a guy there, 19, we go to Papua New Guinea. See a lot of water, there's no access. We keep hearing stories of it's taking 1 to 3 to 5 days for people to get to the only hospital.
So what have y'all been able to do through y'all's help out there?
So it's been amazing. It took us 10 years. We finally got our first float plane. I took it over there in 2010 with my wife and 3 kids. There hadn't been a float plane in 60 years, and so, kind of figuring out, hey, where can we land? Where are the medical aid posts? There's 40 different aid posts out in these remote villages. So 2010 we began, and we've been able to deliver 200,000 pounds of medicine now to these remote clinics. We've helped stop polio outbreak over there, cholera outbreaks, whooping cough, measles, any type of disaster or sickness outbreak. We've been able to help with that. Our teams are on the ground. We go over there and we live 2 years at a time. And so it's really a life calling for all of our staff. And so we've been able to serve these people in this remote Sepik River for over 12 years, and we've saved thousands of lives.
Well, this is a pretty unique airplane. I've not flown a 206 on floats before, and so I'm really interested to see how this thing flies. This one's not a normal 206.
No, we do, all of our planes are the same. We start out, this plane was $160,000, and we've spent around $600,000 on it, and so we've completely gone through it. We've put tip tanks on. We've put a leading edge stole cuff, a Robertson stole kit that allows the ailerons to droop with the flaps, helps us get off quicker. We put a bigger engine on it, so we take it from an IO 520 and we take it to an IO 550.
Nice.
We also take it from an 80-inch prop to an 86-inch prop for the seaplane.
Yeah.
We also put a right-hand door. This right-hand door doesn't come with a 206, and all of those things are for safety. They're also for performance.
Right.
And so this is probably one of the better performing 206s you'll ever fly in.
All right, well, let's see how she gets airborne.
Sounds good.
I love this checklist that you have. Checklist adherence is really critical to safety, and I can imagine that y'all find yourselves in a pretty stressful situation, so you could find yourself in a position where you would forget something because lives are at stake. So you have a very unique, innovative way that I've never seen before for a checklist.
Yeah, this is really so easy. You don't have time to stand, look down at your lap to find a checklist. You got logs floating down the river, there's people coming, there's fishing nets, crocodiles, sandbars, someone's dying in the back, and You've got to be able to quickly make good decisions and get through your checklist in a timely manner. So this is just a lifesaver. When you have this, you just don't forget things, because if it's not down, you haven't done it. Right. So,
yeah.
Yep, the water rudders are up. Last thing on the checklist.
Quick little pop to just pull it off the water.
Yeah, you're trying to, we got a little rough water. You want to get off before it gets too rough out here.
Yeah.
Put the 10 degrees of flaps up. We take off with 20 degrees of flaps. And then we get to about 65 knots, we put 10 degrees back in. Always keep 10 degrees in when you're low, making turns, give you that extra chance if your engine quits to
Help with
have
the
that
stall.
stability.
Yeah,
Yep.
right. Let's talk about a little bit about the terrain that you're working in New Guinea. So you have, obviously, you have a very crooked river that
Yep.
you're trying to land on, and New Guinea also has incredibly high mountains, right? Like 14,000 foot mountains or something along that realm?
Some of the interesting things, the Sepik is the largest freshwater flow. It's fed by, in the Asia Pacific Rim, it's fed by 400 inches of rain a year.
Wow.
And so you just get, that's why it'll rise up to 20 feet in 3 or 4 days, and it'll drop 20 feet in 3 or 4 days.
That's
So
true. So how do you assess your landing spots? I assume it changes every day then.
it changes every day. That's
Yeah.
part of the excitement, actually,
Right.
as a pilot, to not have the same runway, same 5 runways. We land in 65 different locations, and we can land in new places all the time as needed. Maybe land over this little mound over here. It'd be a little calmer.
See, I initially would not look at that and think it's a runway.
Yeah. No, there's runways everywhere. We had a T-shirt for a while that said, "Ask us about our 700-mile runway."
Yeah.
You know, because we can land anywhere.
So what's your game plan next? What's the next thing for you?
I'm actually headed. I just got back from New Guinea about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
I'm heading back over there in about 4 weeks.
All right.
And we're going to be launching into this new part of the country. Like I said, a place that hasn't had service in 35, 40 years.
That's incredible.
I flew over this place a couple years ago in a helicopter, and the people were sailing with palm fronds, their canoes. And so I mean, this is I'm excited. In September, I'm going to be taking one of the planes, and I'm going to go into these areas and really take a good look at what the needs are.
And so when will this plane be there?
This plane is going to one of our partners, MMS, in Ohio, to get an HF radio and some few modifications done. Then they'll pack it in a 40-foot container. Probably ship out in December.
Okay.
Takes a month or two to get over there, and so we'll put it back together on the other side, and hopefully this will be flying by March of 2023.
That's incredible. Well, what a great story. I really, really appreciate the opportunity to do this and help share the story. What a great way to serve. Thank you for the service that you do to those people over there. I mean, just saving thousands of lives. Absolutely incredible. And using aviation to do that.
And I think that's awesome, for those of us who are just passionate about airplanes, to use aviation as a tool, to make a difference in the world. What's better than that?
Right.
So,
Yeah, absolutely.